So if we're just going to be bare bones honest, the facts are these. God told us that we were going to reach a peak in our culture in which good would be called evil and evil would be called good. And we're exactly there at this exact moment. I mean, come on, you can't even talk about Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head without hurting someone's feelings. We have now successfully banned Dr. Seuss, Dumbo, Peter Pan, and Looney Tunes because, of all things, a skunk named Pepe Le Pew that's not been on television for 20-something years is a misogynist and a sexist. But guess what you have at the Grammys? You have some well-paid entertainers wearing barely anything, humping around like a bunch of farm animals on stage to some of the most godless, wicked, vile lyrics you could ever imagine, to the applause of the cancel culture that, God forbid, would ever cancel something like that. That is so backwards, ladies and gentlemen. That is so buck wild and ridiculous. And the fact that parents and pastors and people in general are not standing up and saying something about it is alarming. We have got to get to a place where we have had a gutful of this cancel culture, and we cancel culture, because eventually it devours itself. Okay? You got these people saying, oh my goodness, so-and-so in a cartoon is sexist. And yet Cuomo is still in politics in New York. They should have fired his tail and forced him to resign a very, very long time ago. You see, it's so hypocritical. They say one thing and they support something else. Cancel culture is ridiculous. It is just that. It is a culture of being canceled. It is nonsense. It is hypocritical. It is imbalanced, and eventually it devours itself. Hollywood's finding that out. These singers and songwriters are finding that out. People that have had movies out for years and years and years are finding that out. I mean, good grief. They are finding things that people said 30, 40, and 50 years ago, and they are using it against them. Yet at the end of the day, wickedness is running rampant in the streets. People are denying the reality of the Word of God. America is in a mess. We've had crazy things happen in our election process, and yet people want to get angry at Mr. Potato Head, at cartoons, at things that were said or stated years and years and years ago. And therein lies the culture. People don't want to face the facts. And the facts are, we are in a cultural nightmare of a mess, and we've got to stand up and push back against this foolishness.